And they're off. Are you bad enough to rescue Zelda? The old uncle's trolling this time around, and we find in the first chest, it is the red bottle.
Alright, they can go and check the sick kid already. That's going to be nice. I'm expecting Rai to go right over to Kakariko after escape then.
And knowing Raiku's game style, he loves finding that right now because that gives him a little bit of help for getting through some of these dungeons.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I would not be surprised to see him buy a safety potion up in Death Mountain as well. He's been doing that a lot lately.
Well, sometimes you have to do what you have to do in order to keep yourself alive, especially if a death takes you far away from your goal. And obviously the escape, no difference. And looks like AA was correct on the second chest if he was trying to guess it. The +5 arrow increase, which gives you no arrows, but, well, maybe it might help you against Darmos Knights later on.
Yeah, quite possibly. Depends on how early they find the bow and what they decide to use arrows against.
So blah, blah, blah. Escape, blah, blah. Save Zelda, blah, blah. Open 5 chests, hope for bomb drop, blah, blah. So I'm just going to open this up for anybody who is here. We just briefly discussed this before the race began. What is your thoughts about the problem when bomb drop city for raikourider?
Wow.
What do you think is your favorite moments of the tournament so far? Like right now, I could name you the one moment for me, and that is when Ben destroyed the seed yesterday morning, winning it in 119 and change.
Oh, wow. I'll have to go watch that. That's an impressive time.
And the loser of that race, Final Form, finished in 123.
Wow, still really close, too. That's always amazing to watch, those kinds of races.
So, blah, blah, heart container, blah, blah. Go save Zelda. Like, when you have moments like that, it's just impressive just because of the fact that, hey, look, that was quite the race, and both of those guys were in go mode before the hour mark. I'd love to be in go mode at the hour mark in one of my races.
Yeah, you can only ever hope for that. Usually there's just 1 or 2 items that's way out in the middle of nowhere.
Raikou getting all the bombs. He's gonna go with the double pot strategy.
Yeah, Rai'll have no trouble clearing out Kakariko. The only thing he really wants right now is 74 more rupees.
And there's a possibility of him getting him.
Yeah, there's still plenty of chests before the bottle vendor.
Oh yeah, Parisian Players Frog Tour was an amazing moment too. I was on the call for that one too.
I'll have to watch that. I'll have to just watch a ton of the clips.
That was a lot of fun. Close games are always fun. And right now, SDiezal here is just opening up a little bit of a gap just because of his movement here through the escape.
Yeah, I think Rai's been killing a couple more things just to make sure of having health and bombs.
Yep, and right now it's just a run right to the bookcase, open that up, get into the sewers, and just escape with this princess of yours that you're never going to kiss because you always get the kisses from the sanctuary priest.
Yeah, you can actually kiss Zelda though to get healed.
Well, yeah, but nobody does it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's also the old man on the mountain kiss.
Yeah, and then there's my old comment that I got clipped when I mentioned about grabbing him from the backside.
Oh. Yeah. That's a comment.
So blah blah sewers final chest. Blah blah. Let's see what's in there.
Diesel still doesn't have bombs though.
I was a few chests off, and yeah, that's going to be a concern as he's making his way through the final 3 rooms of the sewers.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be too concerned about it either. He's not killing enemies that are right in his way. Hopefully nothing important's there.
Well, if it does turn out that he doesn't get a bomb drop from any of these rats coming up, well, then Raikou could get a small advantage if there's something nice in those 3 chests. And no bombs. Final chance for him. These 3 rats. Nothing. Last chance.
Oh, the last possible moment. Clutch bomb drop.
The clutch bomb drop, and we're going to find out what those 3 items are. A piece of heart, a piece of heart, and a piece of paper.
A piece of paper. A lot of love and a map.
Raikou happened to go to the north bomb wall here, and SDiezal getting very, very lucky on the last drop possible before he had to push the block and come back later. So no big advantage here because there's nothing in those blocks, and SDiezal's the first to the sanctuary, and we do know there's going to be an item in this last chest.
Yep, Rai's not super far behind though. Oh, Diesel accidentally talking to the old man.
Yep, and he found a 5-arrow increase, and we will hope to see a map real soon from either of our runners. And nothing so far, so let's ascend on over towards the Lost Woods. I could say some more blahs, but I think we're starting to get to the meat and potatoes of this run.
Yep. Alright, what are we hoping is that lumberjack?
Raikou opting to pull the tree, Diesel did not. Raikou finds arrows, and Diesel's heading right straight for the lumberjack cave, and he is going to find that we have a Aghanim required.
Well, most likely, there is the possibility, albeit small, for a mirrorless seed, but that is something they'll definitely both want.
That is correct, especially if there's any sort of fetch quest that needs that mirror. If Swamp Palace is needed, that definitely we will require the mirror. And plus 10 arrows here for SDiezal. Will raikourider pick that up as well?
Looks like
says
it.
Yes. And inside of the hut, we find a 20 rupee. So that is actually nice couch cash because that now gives both of our runners at or above the 100 they're going to need to get the bottle vendor. Now Raikou's got 96, but the first stop in Kakariko Village has 30 rupees under pods, so no problems here.
Yeah, they'll both be able to fully clear out.
Ooh, all 3 dungeons in the light world are crystals, and I think Eastern was 5.
Eastern
the
was
others were 3 and 4.
5. Yeah, Harrow is 3, Desert is 4, and Eastern is that all-important 5.
Wow, that in sync heading into the Thieves' Hut here. Or the hideout.
Rai still hasn't checked his map, though, I believe. That's why he gained a little bit of time here.
The synchronized bomb explosions. And the arrows. And money.
More arrows.
And arrows.
Some
and money.
See how long the sync lasts. More money.
Well, the numbers are important because numbers 5 and 6, crystals 5 and 6, are what unlocks the super bomb that gets you into the pyramid's happy fairy, as I'll call it. Some have other names for it. I'll just call it happy. They're happy to give you stuff.
Yep.
Raikou getting reassurance of what the dungeons are needed here. And there's a bottle with a fairy inside it. That's also really nice to find.
Yeah, safety fairy is always great. Oh, a mushroom. Wonder what that'll lead us to.
And money. And a lantern, so no dark rooms to see. Sorry guys, if you wanted to see dark rooms.
I know Raya is really happy to find that early, so he doesn't have to worry.
I would definitely be happy for that too. Oh, quarter magic! That's worth 100 rupees and then some.
Absolutely. I would always be happy to pay 100 rupees for quarter magic.
And inside the House of Chickens, we find a heart.
Some chicken love.
No idea where that heart came from. I mean, that heart could have very well come from an old visitor to the house.
Yeah, you never know.
So quarter magic is not available in the regular game, but we do find it here in Randomizer because there was coding for it in the regular game, but, well, it never made it to light, and, well, they found that code and put it here in Randomizer. There's a 1 in 3 chance that you will get a quarter magic, otherwise it's a half magic. You don't get both in this game.
Yep. Either one you find is always helpful.
So both of these runners are going to be going to check the library first, and then we're going to see them check the race game, and then after that, it's after the South Shore would be the best route for both of these guys. A piece of heart in the library today, and both of them will say, probably not going to be stopping back there later on. Let's see what's at the race game.
Most likely not. They'd have to be in dire health straits to want to go and grab that.
And money.
Rupees.
Money is the race game today, and SDiezal's opting to go for it.
It's not the worst idea if you think you'll need to go to Zora. But
Yeah, because we've seen races where money has become an issue. I don't know who we're talking about. Some person that's speaking in this booth right now who had a race determined because he didn't have enough money for a monkey, 110 rupees.
Oh, that was so heartbreaking.
And bombs at the Swamp Palace. And SDiezal not opting to take the faster path back to home via save and quit.
That's an interesting choice, for sure.
Like, this is a really interesting routing here because this pretty much eats up about a minute.
Yeah, I think he probably forgot that he can't go the short way because he doesn't have gloves.
Oh, a single rupee, the reward today for draining the pond.
Yep. Now the question is, will any of them, like Rye's going to Mini Moldorm, but will any of them go to Ice Rod? It can be a little out of the way.
Now the other question is will either of these guys fake Flipper to Hobo early?
Diesel might. I don't think Rye has practiced fake flippers too much.
Well, we'll find out what's in these 5 chests. Ringu! The single arrow! It's good to find that single arrow this early on.
And the
hook shot!
Alright, if I know Rye, he'll probably not go to Ice Rod because he found hook shot. Or maybe he will.
He is heading in that direction. Unless he did practice fake flippers in the race that he did a little bit ago. Not the race, but the run that he did a little bit ago. Nope, he is heading for Ice Rod.
Alright.
SDiezal's got to be careful because those they will take 2 hearts if they bonk into him with a green tunic. Oh, he gets hit with a bomb, so now he's down to a half a heart. If any of these mini Moldorns hit him, he's dead.
He does have the fairy, but he'd definitely prefer to save it until later.
Well, yeah, that's right, and you don't want to use that fairy this early in the run.
Yeah, he did
preferably not in a
menu. Because he was looking at his potion too.
So bombs in the chest. We don't have any way to get up to the Death Mountain. There's really nothing to help progress the story. I mean, the hookshot is a nice pickup at this point in time, but at this moment, there's nothing that you can do to beat a dungeon.
Yeah, they can't even get into desert. They can't get up to Hera.
Ooh, SDiezal opting to use the red potion already.
That's an interesting choice.
Raikou opting to go turn in the mushroom, see what that gets him. Maybe this will be the next chain.
Yeah, I think if he doesn't find anything at Mushroom, he'll check Sahasrarla's hut and then maybe go into Eastern. But we'll have to see.
I mean, the decision to use the potion is interesting because the potion will fill up your life no matter how many hearts you have. So you pretty much just limited your potion to 4.5 hearts. Oh, the flute! There's your path to Death Mountain.
Yep. Yeah, he has access to Death Mountain. He's definitely going to go save and quit the Sanctuary, activate the flute, and go right up to Death Mountain.
All right, guys. Here we go. Get your swag ducks all set and ready to go. Raikou's going to go ahead and set up this duck, and then I'm going to pretty much assume, based on the chain, head up to Death Mountain with his hookshot that is now important in tow. Looks like SDiezal's setting up for fake flippers.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like Diesel will be going for fake flippers here for sure. We'll have to see if he's...
he missed on the first try. And he went too far the second try.
Yeah, it looks like he doesn't know the setup from the other screen.
And then he got a third try. There we go.
Well, we'll see if this breaks the item order at all.
Oh, it all depends what the hobo has. Let's see what's on the island. 300 rupees. And Raikou making the move that we thought he would. He's going to go into the cave, and yes, he's going to go ahead and grab the old man by the backside.
Meanwhile, Diesel is making it to the hobo under the bridge right now. What does he have for us today?
Oh, the book of Medora, which...
He has a chance of being able to finish Desert with that.
He can finish half of the desert. He doesn't have the other half component with the gloves.
Right,
or the mitts. But we're gonna see what Raikou gets for the old man. Oh, speaking of mitts, there's the mitt.
Oh, that's really important. He has hookshot and mitts. He's probably gonna go over to the east side of Death Mountain and then Super Bunny for the 2 chests. He's for sure gonna get the Light World stuff out of the way right now.
Oh, absolutely. He is going to get the stuff over here on the left side first, then get the stuff at the right-hand side. If we find a Moon Pearl soon, Raikou could clear out all of Death Mountain.
Yep. It's like we're gonna see what Sahasrarla's hut is holding.
Well, we know in Spectacle Rock it's a piece of heart. Speaking of piece of his heart, oh, the bow! Inside Spectacle Rock, and we found the 4th bottle already, so all 4 bottles are accounted for in SDiezal's end.
Wow, they won't have to worry about potions too much. I mean, they'll have to have money for them, but they have plenty of room.
So now Raikou, once he gets to the hobo, will have the components he needs to finish 2 of the 3 Light World dungeons, which we know are crystal dungeons.
Yep, and all he's missing is Hammer or Mirror to make it to Tower of Hera, and then he'll be able to finish that as well.
But we know where the mirror is.
Yeah, so he needs either Hammer to get to Hera, or Cape, or a magical sword of some kind to be able to kill Aghanim.
Well, let's see what's on the eastern end of Death Mountain. As SDiezal makes his way over to the potion shop, he's going to turn in the mushroom.
And then probably go up to Zora. No, he'd have the fake flippers again.
You'd have the fake flipper.
Because I think he's going up here to kill 2 birds with 1 stone and doesn't realize that he needs the gloves. That's always possible.
Well, it all depends what he does next.
Yeah, the flute does let him get over to the spot to fake flippers really quickly again, though.
And he does save and quit, so he does know.
Yeah, he might just go up to Death Mountain, too, because that's a lot of potential up there.
And we find bombs and 100 rupees on Raiku's end.
Let's see what these 5 chests contain here.
Getting himself in a little bit of trouble with the mini Molderns. Gotta be careful again. 2 hits from them and he's dead. A piece of her rupees. Ew, the mirror shield.
That's a good find. And
the boots. There's the boots. And a bomb increase. Biggest item there was the boots, because we know if he does have to do AGA 1 to get to the magic mirror, he needs those boots.
Yeah, he is all set to be able to get the mirror, so he can... He just needs a way to get into Aghanim's tower, and then he can clear...
Suffers a death as he ended up getting bombed by a red Tektite, so the fairy is going to revive him, but I'm certain he didn't want to have to use that fairy this early in the run.
Absolutely not. Those red Tektites do a lot of damage, and their movement can be quite unpredictable.
Yep, and when you have green tunic and facing up against them, they are very unforgiving.
Oh, yes.
Now, Raikou does check the item on the island up here. 3 bombs, no good. And runs for the fairy. Good decision after he got bonked by a couple of enemies here, and it's time to check out the spiral cave. SDiezal checking the desert, finds the piece of heart on the ledge. He's going to go into the desert.
Yeah, he's going to get everything he can right now.
What if, by some fashion, the power glove ended up being in there? That would give SDiezal a little bit of a lead at this point. And there's the flippers for Raikou.
Oh, really good find for Rai.
So that's where the chain now goes. The chain is now going to have him go once he's done with this. And we're going to see him do the Super Bunny, as you mentioned earlier. The chain would now to have him go visit the hobo to get the book, which gets him into the desert, which would allow him to get to the dungeon.
Diesel hookshot at the antlion and made it take longer to get past him.
He got stuck in the quicksand, did he?
Yep. And he couldn't kill the antlion because he pushed it out of the quicksand.
So the thing with the... Ooh, there's a small key on the torch right there, which means he does have the big key, so the dungeon, if he had found the power glove, would be winnable, but he finds a red rupee instead. He can't do anything else. So the Super Bunny glitch works like this. Once you go into a hole, fall down to a next level, you now have the ability to use your A and B buttons. Yeah. And happy Easter, everybody.
Yeah, you can also Super Bunny pretty easily in Ice Palace. If you just enter it and die, you will revive it.
Ooh, the Ice Rod. Now, we don't know if that's required or not, but it's good to have in case Turtle Rock is required.
Yeah, absolutely a good item to have.
And that is not his stream. That's the way the Super Bunny ends up working. It doesn't show you the animation because I guess the programmers never thought you were going to be going into a drop down as the bunny. And let's see what's in the Dash Cave.
Yeah, he'll probably route these bonk rocks and then the grave.
Oh, the blue mail. Oh, the butter sword.
Oh, wow.
SDiezal getting the butter sword, which will give him a little bit of help right there until Raikou makes his way over there. So right now, Raikou would really like to be able to get into the hobo because that's his next progression, but he's going to check King's Tomb first.
Yeah, and then he might go right over to Eastern since he has the bow.
And he finds a lower class shield, which would be the fighter's shield.
Yep, not what you want to find when you already have the mirror shield.
So that butter sword, by the way, now gives SDiezal the ability to go up to AGA 1.
Yep, he'll probably be looking for the boots first, though.
Yep. Raikou is going to be heading over to the Eastern Palace now that he's got the item to beat this dungeon, and by way of the bow. But he's going to check Sarasota first. Sarasota, Sarsaparilla, whatever you want to call him.
Sasquatch.
Saskatchewan, or whatever that province in Canada is named.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Rai finish Eastern and then choose to either go to Hobo and Zora, because he just got the money for Zora. And he tends not to go up there until he has flippers.
Shalawala Ding Dong.
Sahara, Alaska, Shawshank Redemption.
SDiezal finding the bow up there on Death Mountain, so we're going to see him go drop down and pick that up in just a moment. Yep, Saskatchewan. That's what I was thinking of. Thank you.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people call him Sriracha. People have come up with all sorts of best names for him. Looks like Diesel's found the bow.
And Raikou finding one of the 3 items in the Eastern Palace by way of 20 rupees.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna hope that he doesn't have to go all the way to the big key, the vanilla big key chest.
That would be the optimal situation in this dungeon, but looks like Raikou forgetting that he has the hookshot, which would make this dungeon easier. No, he did remember now.
Yep. I love having hookshot here. It makes it just that much quicker to grab that chest.
Yep, it does. Finds the map. Nothing important. Now, SDiezal's going to be careful because he's down to 2 hearts right now, and I'm sure he doesn't want to use that fairy just yet.
Yeah, you definitely want to be able to save a fairy as long as possible.
And Raikou not doing the despawning trick here in this room with the Staphos, and ends up having all 4 spawn.
Yeah, that's one of the things he needs to work on a little bit. He's gotten it a couple times, but...
By the way, he is going to have to go to that big key chest room, because he doesn't have the big key, and that's guaranteed to be in that chest now.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm guessing this is actually a godsend for him, because he's been known to miss that chest before, and if there's something that's key in there, or a chain item, it doesn't help.
Yeah, being able to clear a dungeon in one fell swoop is always nice. Like, he even tries to avoid Thieves Town until he has Hammer now. Which
I understand
can be good
that.
or bad.
Sometimes there's a critical item in there. Raikou getting the big key without too much of a problem, using the invisibility frames, getting himself a little beat up by the anti-fairies, but he's through it.
Yep, he's gonna head right to the big chest and then to Armos. So he will have himself a crystal really soon. Armos is guaranteed to have an item.
Yep, the Armoses will have the 3rd and final item of this dungeon.
Diesel's making his way to Spiral Cave now that he's found the boots.
And with 600, nearly 700 rupees, the next play for him could possibly be Zora.
Yeah, especially since he's about to find the flippers here.
That's another thing that some runners want to try to avoid, is going to Zora without having the flippers, because if there's something nice on that ledge, you've got to make a trip back, and that's not necessarily an easy place to get to.
Yeah. Looks like he's going back across the broken bridge.
Yep, so he's not going to do the Super Bunny to get the Ice Rod. And I'm interested in seeing where he's going to go now, because I think he's got everything he could possibly get here.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't realize he can't go into Hera yet.
Yeah, that might be a possibility. And the reason he can't is because he doesn't have the mirror, and the mirror's what you're going to have to get through the Lumberjack tree after killing Aga.
Or is he going to check Spike Cave?
He can't. He has no way of using
he doesn't have a hammer. And he doesn't have Pearl, yeah.
And now he realizes that he doesn't have the mirror, so unfortunately that ends that quest for him. Raikourider getting done with the first crystal of this game. He will opt to leave with his 5 rupee reward for killing those Armos Knights.
Yep, looks like he's gonna go right to Zora.
Yep. Oh no, he's going hobo. Maybe.
Well, he's gonna take the warp because he can flute. He's gonna check the island first, and then he might go to hobo first. It really depends.
Yeah, I think would make greater sense to go to hobo first, and then when you're on that little shallow piece of water, go ahead and check the go back to the warp point 8, and then go back in and head on over to Zora. SDiezal back into the desert, hoping to find the 2 items that are in here.
Yeah, he has everything he needs to finish the dungeon now, so he'll definitely just clear everything out.
Raikourider picking up the book. SDiezal did check Agina. That's where we found the butter sword.
Yeah, Rai will probably check that once he goes over and does desert. He's probably just going to clear out Zora first. Or he's going to whistle up to Zora.
That's an interesting direction to go, but doesn't really lose him any strong amount of time here. But eventually now with the book in hand, Raiku's going to have to start thinking desert.
Yeah, everything is pointing him to the desert at this point.
By the way, did we see what the items were in the 2 chests using the key and SDiezal's done? Because I think he just went straight for the second segment.
Yeah, I don't think he bonked that key off.
And we know that there's still an item up, but maybe he's seeing the idea that maybe the Lamolas have it here.
Yeah, he's probably going to take the gamble at just getting the crystal and hoping for the item too.
And 500 rupees today will score you the lower quality glove.
Now he's playing with power.
Not super power though.
Yep. What a life lesson that the Zora dealt out today.
Somebody better report him to the Better Business Bureau. And the map is given to SDiezal. Now he knows if he hasn't found it already, he's going to have to go back into the Desert Palace to find the second item on the right-hand side. Raiku's now heading to Agina, where he's going to be finding himself dairy products.
Yep, he will be very happy to find this early in the seed. And then he's going to just clear out. I'm going to guess he's going to clear out Desert immediately, and then immediately go and kill Aghanim. So it'll be interesting to see if Diesel chooses to go and right to Aghanim, or if Diesel wants to clear Eastern.
So SDiezal picking up the key off the torch. Now he's going to make his way over to the right-hand side, where he's going to find a compass. We are guaranteed that, plus the second item that is to be found in these chests here in the Desert Palace.
Yep, we'll see what he finds over here.
And SDiezal finds the Moon Pearl!
Moon Pearl! That is huge!
Well, that opens this seed up, my friends.
Oh, absolutely. Many, many Dark World dungeons are now open. Or Dark World locations in general.
Yep, right now they can go into Skullwoods. They can't complete it because no fire rod at this moment if they have to. Thieves Town they can go into, but they can't finish it off because no Titansmith. And SDiezal's thinking, guess what? I just got this Moon Pearl. It's time to head over to the Western Dark World.
Yeah, they have the myths. They can finish everything but a chest in Thieves Town. Hopefully Diesel checks what are crystals immediately here.
He's going to check the Village of Outcasts first by the looks of things, because we're not getting any map from him.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to check these 3 locations first, and then go from there.
And a 20 rupee prize for playing the chess game today. Thank you for playing. Have a nice day.
Only a loss of 10 rupees. It's not as bad as some of the swindles I've seen. Especially King Zora.
Single rupee inside the sea. And Raikou now getting the Moon Pearl. That should be the second item for him, so that should be an indication to get on out. And he just realizes that, yep.
Yep, he's gonna head right over to Landmola.
Take care of the Landmolas now. And SDiezal now going inside the doorless hut, where the chest in here yields a red rupee.
So it's interesting that Diesel's not checking his map right now to see whether Thieves Town is required.
Ooh, he grabs the frog. There's a problem with that, though.
Yeah, he doesn't have the mirror.
He's gonna have to take this frog on a world tour.
Yeah, he also doesn't have the hammer, so he can't do anything over here. Now he's gonna realize it.
Sorry, frog buddy, you're gonna have to go back underneath the rock.
Now, is Diesel gonna go back into the Dark World, or is he just gonna clear out Eastern? Looks like he's heading right over to the left again.
I think he's thinking Aga now.
Oh yeah, he's probably just gonna go and clear Aghanim out, get the mirror.
Yeah, he took the long way around, but yep, he's gotta do Aga now.
Yeah, certainly an interesting choice. I would have checked my map in the Dark World to see if you even need the mirror. I mean, it does make things a lot faster anyway.
Neither of these, well, SDiezal was the first one to the Dark World, and we have not seen a map on his end just yet, so we don't know whether or not Dark World Swamp is required. That would be the only dungeon that you do need the mirror to get into. Otherwise, the other reason why you need the mirror is in the rare event that something ends up being in one of those ledges that you need to have the mirror for. And he's having a real problem against those two, but oh, gets a fairy drop. That's a nice drop right there for SDiezal.
That's a really well-timed drop. He definitely needed that. Yeah, mirror does save a lot of time in like Palace of Darkness and other dungeons in general.
But yeah, it does. But the question is does it need to be happening? It doesn't. Is it needed? Well, we're gonna find out on Raikou's end. As he will have to go Aga, though.
To go right to Aga as well. Not super surprising. Rai considers the mirror in this game just as important as ladder in Z1, and that's a fair point. It gives you so many movement options and navigation choices.
And this was once again without a map check, so we have no idea what is required in this seed just yet. We know that 3 of the Dark World dungeons are going to be pendants.
Yep, it's just a question of which ones. I'm sure they're hoping it's something like Misery Mire, Turtle Rock, and whatever other one they don't like doing.
Oh, Ice Palace, Misery Mire, and Turtle Rock would be the best thing ever for these runners.
Yep. Some of the trickiest dungeons to go through. Yeah, Spenko, it probably is definitely worth the time to get the mirror, and that's why they decided to both go and get it, even if it's not strictly necessary. Shackle wants to see Turtle Rock, Misery Mire, and Ice Palace as pendants, but have the pedestal required.
Ooh, that would be true hell for our runners.
Yeah, that would be something.
Who knows what the possibilities would be. By the way, what do you think is going to be on the pyramid badge?
Let's see. Let's go with the Master Sword.
Interesting.
I mean, they definitely want to see something like Hammer there, but just for interesting things, let's go with Master Sword.
Raikou now getting up to Aga 1 as SDiezal knocks off Aga 1. In time to see what that item is up here on the ledge.
Survey says... Oh, he's just gonna drop it down and grab it. The
shovel! That is interesting. Fetch quest possibility here.
Yeah, Diesel still hasn't checked his map and didn't immediately save and quit to grab the mirror, so... Wonder...
And now he's gonna go ahead. No, he's not. He just teases us just a little bit.
He's gonna check Catfish, since it's so out of the way.
As he...
Oh,
no, never mind.
He still hasn't checked the map. We still don't know what Dark World dungeons are required here.
Yep, we know that 3 of them are not required. We don't know which ones yet. Maybe Raikou will help us out just a little bit. Throw us a bone. Show us which ones we need, which ones we don't.
What items we need for this.
There we go. And Misery Mire, Thieves Town, Skullwoods. Misery Mire is your green pendant.
That's a awful one to have be the green pendant. Can be long and drawn out.
Yep. But we can tell you because of that, that eliminates the fire rod, the hammer. No, the hammer you could actually... You could defeat Thieves Town without the hammer, so that... We'll throw that one out the window.
Yep.
But we can tell you that Misery Mire means 1 medallion is not going to be required, but having the Turtle Rock being required means that the Cane of Samaria is still going to be required.
Yep, and that ice rod that Rai picked up earlier will absolutely be required as well.
With the mirror in hand, SDiezal's heading up to the Tower of Hera.
Not a bad choice. It's a really quick dungeon, and they both have everything they need. Might as well clear it out of the way, and they can check Ether while they're up there.
And by the way, because now we know this, the Swamp Palace is a crystal, that means that mirror was required. Aga 1 was required as well.
Yep. Looks like Rai is going... Where is he going?
He's heading to the Dark World. He hasn't checked the West End yet.
Yeah, he's probably... Oh, he has Mirror. He's going to be able to do all of that. All of this stuff all at once, except for Mad Batter and the Pegs. But he's going to be able to clear out Old Stumpy. He's going to be able to check the flutes, Vanilla Flute spot. He's going to be able to clear out a lot of stuff this way.
And he's going to end up getting a heart and 20 rupees out of the chest, raikourider does. And he says, nope, not coming back in now.
Yeah, he currently has enough money to pay for the digging game.
So, knowing what we know about this steed, we can tell you that the fire rod cannot be in the pedestal. The Cane of Samaria, which we haven't found yet, either cannot be in the pedestal because you need that to beat Misery Mire. The hammer is still a possibility. So too could be one of the medallions that you need to get into Turtle Rock.
If they have to get a medallion to clear Misery Mire, to get a medallion at the pedestal for Turtle Rock, that would be amazing.
These guys wouldn't think so, but we would like it.
Yeah, it's always one of those much better to watch than to play. Looks like Rai's gonna do the digging game and then go back up for our frog friend.
SDiezal setting up the bomb jump, gets it, and oh, there's the cane of
There's the red
Samaria.
cane. That's a really good find.
And so the digging game, the 15th, will automatically score you the item. It's a piece of heart, just like it is in the regular game.
Yep, now he's definitely going to come back up and grab the frog and do most of the stuff he can do here. He's probably going to end with checking Bombos and then flute over to the old man to clear the Tower of Hera, would be my guess at his routing.
That sounds like a logistical way to go right now. SDiezal clearing out the Tower of Hera, grabs the crystal. That's his second crystal of the race. And raikourider, he's turning in the frog. Let's see what the tour yields today.
Alright, what do the blacksmiths have this time?
The ether.
Yeah, no one's checked either of the medallion requirements yet. Yeah,
Raikou dragging the chest along now, though.
Yeah, him lifting that rock definitely means he's gonna go and check Old Stumpy, go and get the shovel item, and do all of those things along the way to turn the chest in.
SDiezal staring at the map just a little bit, getting confirmation of what he needs to do here in the Dark World.
Oh, looks like Bombos is in the...
Ooh, well, that's now 2 of the 3 medallions.
Alright, Quake is still alive for the pedestal, though.
Wouldn't that be something if it's the one remaining that you need?
That would be even worse than just having one. Old Stumpy has a bomb upgrade.
Yay.
Oh yeah, Rai with Bombos and Quarter Magic. He likes using Bombos in a variety of places.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, including his path of Ganon's Tower.
Yep.
Now, Bombos also does mean that he could venture into Ice Palace. He can't beat the dungeon just yet because he doesn't have Hammer. So, where is the Hammer? That's pretty much where the biggest item is right at this moment in this game.
Yeah, that one is still alive for the pedestal too, I believe. That would be something too. So that's needed for 2 different dungeons.
Yep, and also needed for one of the first times in Ganon's Towers too.
3 different dungeons, because you need it for that one room in Swamp too.
Speaking of Hammer...
never mind. We found the Hammer. So it looks like SDiezal decided to just book it right to the turning in the chest. I don't think he did the other stuff along the way.
So we have ourselves a Hammer.
No charm. Rai still needs Fire Rod and Cane.
Yep. We need to know where the Fire Rod is, but we know that cannot be in the pedestal. But here's a mischievous thought. Could Sarashula have the Fire Rod?
Let's see, Misery Mire is the green pendant. He certainly could.
Because all you need to do to get through Misery Mire is have either the boots or the hook shot to get across the first gap. You need the lamp to light the torches. You don't need the fire rod, but you need the lamp at the very least to light up those torches. And then, of course, the cane of Samaria.
Yep.
Well, speaking of Dark World Hype Cave, we find the bug-catching net and some hearts.
So, more of a love cave.
That's what it's become lately.
Yeah, I mean, they did find a lot of things before being able to check it, so not super surprising.
Raikou currently in the Swamp Palace.
Makes sense that he'd come here before Tower of Hera, just because of the sheer number of items. He loves coming here as early as he can complete it.
There's arguments for and against it. Some runners like to save it for last because if they're in go mode, it's just a quick blitz.
Yeah, I'm sure the other thing that tipped the scales was he is right in the area. Since he just went and checked Bombos and turned in the purple chest.
Nice hammer dash strategy there from Raikou to clear out to get to the key there in the Swamp Palace.
Yeah, AA makes a good point. It is definitely a high opportunity to come here because of or high risk of paying off to come here because of the amount of items, but it is quite a bit of time to check every chest.
Well, yeah, there's an argument for and against. There's arguments for and against it, and there's no real wrong answer. Obviously, if you're in go mode, you're just blitzing through this, but
yeah, it is one of the fastest in go mode, so I definitely like it in go mode because you need what, one key and not even the big key, just one key and hookshot, pretty much.
SDiezal now heading into the Swamp Palace as well, so we're going to be seeing these both exploring through this dungeon. And we're also going to be wondering, because it still hasn't popped up yet, where are the silver arrows? Now, obviously, both of these runners, having played in a few games of this tournament, I don't know how good SDiezal's silver list is, but, you know, it's not a major concern if we don't find silvers. It would just be nice to find.
Yep. Yeah, I think Ryan knows how to do it, but he prefers to have silvers. It's like people want to see silvers in Hookshot Cave or in Moldorm 2 chest.
Oh yeah, the validation chest, because why not?
Yep. Now looks like they're both going through Swamp here.
Yeah, Raikou heading for the western side of the dungeon here, where there's going to be 2 more chests that have possibilities of having items in them. I know he would like to find the big key sometime soon, so he doesn't have to backtrack to find out what's in the big chest if he doesn't find all 6 items in here.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't want Argus to have the big key at this point, unless he finds all the items. Because that backtracking into the big chest can be a little annoying.
And another piece of part, which will fill up his her container for raikourider, is, you know, the question once again is, where are the 2 required items that we know we need at this point? The fire rod we definitely know is going to be required.
Yeah, we do know Rai will be picking up the Cane of Samaria once he goes to Tower of Hera, so it's really a question of where that fire rod is hiding.
And there's a possibility, although very small, because you need it for the 2nd room or the 3rd room of Turtle Rock, that it could be in that very last chest.
Yeah, it is possible. Things have to line up just right, though.
Well, there's also a bigger possibility, but logic has been kind of skewed away from making it so you could easily soft lock from having a deep item such as that. SDiezal is going to have to be careful down to a half a heart. He does have backup items here, but, well,
yeah, it definitely needs to be a little more careful.
There's the cane of Berna. There's the big key, and Raiku's going to go ahead and backtrack because he doesn't want to leave that chest behind.
Yep. Oh, there's a death for SDiezal here.
And there's the fairy revival, so no harm, no foul. And Raikou running into that little bug that happens with this staircase going from B2 to B1.
Oh, yeah.
Which is so annoying when it ends up happening, because then you sit there and go, what in the world? And he goes back to the big key chest to find the compass.
Yep, so it looks like Argus will have the last item here.
Either that or the waterfall chest.
Oh yeah, waterfall chest could too. Yeah, right, I almost pushed the statue again before realizing you can just run up here.
Yep, since the water is drained, it does stay that way as long as you're in the dungeon. Don't leave the screen.
Oh, there's Quake.
There's the Quake, so goodbye wishes and hopes and dreams for a pedestal required seed.
Well, we could still have silvers there. It's not strictly required, but that would be certainly interesting.
And Raikkonen going up against Argus. Butter Sword. This is the easy, just pluck off the puffy little poofy little cheese ball things. No problems.
Yeah, as long as you have hookshot and tempered or greater, this fight goes real quick.
So, we need to know where the fire rod is. SDiezal's going to be that one item away from Go Mode once he does find the Quake coming up in just a few moments, but raikourider needs the Cane of Samaria. We know it's going to be coming up real soon for him when he gets up to the Tower of Hera, which is a crystal dungeon, and you know he's going to go get all the items out of there. Yeah,
I'd be surprised if he doesn't check the big chest with hookshot and boots. It's a really easy chest to check. Looks like he's going to be going to Hype Cave now.
Or the Love Cave, as it's being called these days.
Fire Rod cannot be on the pedestal because Skullwoods is a pendant.
Yep, and you need the Fire Rod in order to beat Skullwoods to get into the Mothula fight, so unfortunately that has now been drifted away.
Yeah, about the only thing that could be on pedestal that they'd really want would be silvers at this point.
Looks like Raikou's opting to head to the Palace of Darkness next.
Yeah, he was pretty close to the area. He has everything to just clear it out really quick. And it does have quite a few items as well.
Now, one place where SDiezal might make up time is he might opt to go to the Palace of Darkness and then switch over to Eastern Palace for the 1-2 combo.
Yeah, he definitely has that option available to him. It's always nice when you get to do that.
And Raikou making sure he has enough money for Kiki to open up the entrance to the Palace of Darkness, where there are 5 possible items in here, and maybe, just maybe, we could find Fire Rod in here.
Yeah, that's definitely the thing that they are hoping for. Rai's hoping Kane is here too, but we know it's not.
SDiezal looks like he's going to be doing what I said earlier and opting to head to the Palace of Darkness now and then head over to Eastern afterwards.
Yeah, he's definitely going to just get the 2 out of the way. He can finish them both pretty quickly. It's just a matter of whether they're going to check other overworld spots or go into Ice Palace if they don't find the Fire Rod here.
And it's also a possibility that the fire rod could pop into the ice palace because you don't need the fire rod to go through the dungeon. Bombos works just fine, and with a quarter magic, just bombos all the way.
Yep. It is also possible that Blind is once again holding the fire rod. Seen that happen multiple times.
Just like it's also possible for Blind to be holding the silver arrows. That's been seen before too. So keys aplenty here for Raikou. He'll want to use the mirror to head back to the start.
Yeah, mirror saves a ton of time in this dungeon. I've had to go through this without it, and you just have to backtrack so often.
But every now and then you'll end up with a seed where the mirror is in this dungeon.
Yep.
And as we were mentioning earlier, there's still a possibility that Misery Mire might be required to peek into to get to Sarantala to get the fire rod.
Yeah, that'd probably be one of the worst outcomes for them, especially if Big Key ends up in its vanilla spot, because that takes ages to get to.
Raikou almost forgetting to check that chest where there's a map inside, so it wouldn't have done him a whole lot of harm if he had forgotten it, but he would have probably been saying, "Oh crap, I gotta come back."
Yeah. It's never good when you end up missing a chest. Especially if you don't know which chest you missed.
A heart container, which helps increase raikourider's life right now.
Yeah, health has been a little bit low so far in the seed, even though we've found quite a few heart pieces. There's a lot of heart containers themselves out there.
I think Raikou's having to check a couple of other things before he goes through there. I'm certain he would like to find out where the big key is before going into there, unless it turns out the big key is by process of elimination in that one area.
Yeah, it definitely helps to be able to clear the big chest there at the same time.
And we find another heart container. That would be, I believe, the second item we found in the Palace of Darkness.
Yep, I believe so. He's gonna check this chest before going over to the maze. Finds another small key.
Which is the one key he's going to need to get towards the final stages of this once he heads downstairs. And so, though, by the process of elimination, we know the two chests in here, one of them is guaranteed to have the big key in it.
And there it is. So now he's going to check the big key chest and this other chest, see if there's anything he's looking for. Finds the powder. Another fetch quest item, I believe the last one. And the bloomerang. Yeah, it'll certainly be interesting to see where Raikou decides to go after clearing this dungeon.
I'm surprised he has not opted to just mirror back, instead just going straight through here, but he will end up heading back to where he needs to go. He's going to have to flick the switch, though, before he can do anything on the final segment of this dungeon. And he would have been able to save a few seconds in this dungeon if he had the can of Samaria right now.
Yeah, I am a little surprised he hasn't been to Tower of Hera yet, but I'm sure he's doing this order of dungeons just based on the number of items that are in each place.
Well, we do know that the Helmasaur King is going to have an item because they found the other three required items to this dungeon: the map, the compass, and the big key.
Yep. Samaria is in Hera Big Chest.
And it's possible that Raiku's going to save Hera for when he has to go up to check out Turtle Rock.
That is possible. I'm sure he's thinking in his mind that it only has 2 items, so what are the chances it has something he needs? But little does he know.
And the little asterisks that are next to the crystals are the crystals 5 and 6. They're important because those are the ones that will get you the super bomb, which in the regular game is what gets you the butter sword and the silver arrows. In this case, it'll get you 2 chests that are inside the giant pyramid wall there.
And mentioning that, Palace of Darkness is the second of those crystals. I would not be surprised to see Rai go and check that now, because he's in the area.
You never know, Fire Rod could be there.
Yeah, this is about the only time he's going to be around the area, so better now than any other time probably to go and grab it.
Because Ice Palace is the only one other dungeon that's required down here off the mountain, and we find another heart container here in the Palace of Darkness. That's 3 heart containers that showed up here.
That's pretty crazy. The health situation's looking a lot better, especially since Rai only has blue mail and Diesel is still rocking the green tunic.
Which the blue mail was what? It was in the Dash Cave?
Yes, I believe so.
Raikou opting to save and quit, that will put him on the pyramid, which I'm certain he didn't want to go.
Yeah, it looks like he's not realizing that he has crystals 5 and 6, possibly.
So it does look like, based on where he is warping to... Oh no, he's remembering. He's gonna go ahead and warp here, just south of the house, and do it from there.
Oh yeah, that might be a little bit faster. Oh, he doesn't have to go through the hedge maze. This is probably a bit faster.
And also on top of that, Raikou also does have the advantage because, well, both of these guys will, but I'm just mentioning now because he's going to be doing it. Has the advantage because Aga 1 was killed. He can warp it back to the light world and save himself that little hammer maze that you need to poke those 3 pegs in order to get past.
Yeah, it saves several screen transitions to be able to mirror it to the light world.
Oh, he's not even thinking that.
Oh,
no,
now
he remembered. Because you can take the super bomb into the light world, and there's the portal right at the castle gates that gets you back into the dark world. And now SDiezal now in the Eastern Palace, this would give him a 5-4 crystal lead once he's done, but Raikou looks like he's going to be opting to do Tower of Hera as one of his last dungeons on the mountain.
I wouldn't be surprised if after this he goes to Tower of Hera, just because it's quicker than Ice Palace.
And we find a piece of heart, and ooh,
and the
there
butters
is...
for the...
No, I'm sorry. One of the sword upgrades.
One of the other.
I'm going to believe that would be the tempered sword.
Yeah, that was probably tempered.
So, while we were getting excited about Butter Sword, these guys already had butter.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it looks like he's gonna go and check Catfish. Yeah, they can't believe it's not Butter Sword.
The anti-butter sword.
The asterisk on the pendant is for the green pendant, which gets you Sahasrala's item.
And we're still looking for the fire rod. It's still elusive. And that's not where it is. Where is this dang fire rod?
That is a very good question. I'm also wondering where Rai is going here. Oh, he's gonna check the mirror cave above the graveyard, most likely. That'd be my guess, because then that leaves him in the light world too. And then he's can go right up to Death Mountain from there. That, or he could come back and choose to do blind.
Have either of these guys checked to see what the bumper cave yields?
I don't think either of them have been up there in the Dark World, no.
Because that's a possibility too, and I think we're going to find Raikou explore it to see what it is coming soon.
Yeah, Fire Rod cannot be in Ganon's Tower because they need it to complete Turtle Rock.
Well, there's the tempered, so that means the Master Sword was the pyramid item. So no, the Fire Rod can't be in Ganon's Tower because since Turtle Rock is a crystal dungeon, you have to beat Trinex. Trinex, you need to have the Ice Rod as well as the Fire Rod, plus you need the Fire Rod to light the torches in the third room of Turtle Rock. So at this point in time, there's no way for these guys to beat Turtle Rock. And Raikou finding it's something right on top of
it's just some couch cash.
Hey, but as you just mentioned, it is just couch cash. Just move along. Nothing else to see here. So Raikou now heading up to the Tower of Hera, going to go ahead and get some love for this old man. And that would be a very cruel thing if it turned out that the Fire Rod was indeed in Turtle Rock by having to take a mischievous route to get there.
Yeah, I do want to see that at some point, just because of how crazy that is.
Raikou is going to go ahead and do the Hookshot Cave by the looks of things, and then I would have to assume after he's done with doing that, he's going to go into the Tower of Hera, where he'll be happy to know that he'll be one item away from Go Mode at that point. By the way, SDiezal is still 2 items to get away from Go Mode. I should point that out.
Yeah, he's missing both rods. I'm sure Rai will get these chests here. Check the medallion for Turtle. Well, he won't. He has all 3. He might still go over there.
Well, he doesn't need to grab the chest in here because he already grabbed him as a Super Bunny.
I think he forgot that he did that. Yeah, he's going to be a little disappointed here.
Well, you have to go this way in order to get to the top.
That's true.
And no, we have not checked the back cave just yet, although that is also a possibility here, but we're going to see what's in the 4 chests and Hookshot Cave first.
Yeah, we also haven't... I don't think we checked the peg game, did we? Or did Rai check that? I don't think he had a hammer. No, he didn't. Because the chest had the hammer. So we haven't seen the peg game.
You are right, we haven't seen that yet. And we still are missing the Fire Rod. SDiezal is about to make a financial decision right now. And we know it's not going to pay off.
Yep.
He's about to get ripped off by a big, gigantic fish. Raikou's going to check the Ether Medallion first.
Yep. Rai could also check Spike Cave. He does have plenty of health, and he has the Cave of Brian.
He also has some health in bottles, too, at the very worst case scenario. But, you know, with the Cane of Brian and Quarter Magic, that's not going to be a thing at all.
Yep.
So
there's no way he'd run out.
SDiezal's 5-4 crystal lead isn't that strong at this point. because Raiku's in the dungeon that would make it 5-5, and then they'll be all caught up. There'll be the Ice Palace still to do, and there'll still be Turtle Rock. Neither of these guys can finish Turtle Rock, but they can finish the Ice Palace because they've got the Bombos tablet.
Yeah, so it'll be... Obviously, it'll depend on if they decide to go digging an Ice Palace or clear some more overworld. This is always where it's really interesting. Oh, Rai accidentally hitting the star switch and falling down.
That's not the way you want to fall down, because now you've got to do this portion again, and I don't know if the orbs come back. Nope, they don't. So with the quarter magic, that means they're going to have some better possibilities, and I wouldn't be surprised to see if Raikou, even though it's only 2 hits to kill, doesn't use a little bit of that Burna to get past the Moldern.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice safety, because falling to Moldern can take so much time.
And ring around the chest to get the Cane of Samaria for Raikou, and then bonks himself off there, and he's now happy. He's now 1 item away from Go Mode, but that's the ever so elusive Fire Rod.
Yes, indeed. And we're running lower and lower on possibilities as to where it could be.
And they've checked Bumper Cave, but we know that there's only 20 rupees at there, so there's nothing good to be found. And Raikou is not even opting to go with the Burna strats. He's just going to go ahead and kill off this Moldern and grab himself 5 rupees for his prize and go ahead and get out of here. Like I said, 1 item away from Go Mode. None of these players have gone into a Crystal Dungeon, though. Or rather, a Pendant Dungeon. Could it possibly be that a Pendant Dungeon is required in this seed?
That is definitely the question. Looks like Rai is going to opt to flute. He's going to check the stuff by Misery Mire.
Yep. And if he finds the Fire Rod, he is in business.
And he's going to check these 2 chests first, and then the checkerboard cave.
You find a piece of heart and something that's red, but not the red he's looking for.
Yep. I wouldn't be surprised if he checks Thieves' Town. Or, I don't know, he might do Ice Palace before checking Thieves' Town, just because Ice Palace is a crystal.
Well, SDiezal finds a key in the first chest, which is always nice to find in that first chest, because that gets you the right-hand side without having to go through the maze. So, getting the key is actually good news there for SDiezal, and Raikou finding something that's red, but not what he's looking for again.
Yep, now he's deciding where he wants to go.
And he's gonna he's gonna have to go to Ice Palace as well.
Yeah, not a bad choice. It is a required dungeon. Might as well get it out of the way.
So, obviously, you've been in this situation too. You're an hour and 18 minutes into this run. You have no clue where one particular item is. How worried are you that your opponent has found that item and is already on Go Mode and scrambling his way to Turtle Rock at this point?
With kind of how the seed's shaken out, this one's been not super trolly, so I'd be relatively worried. And especially finding Cane in Tower of Hera when you've had access to it for a long time would definitely make me a bit more worried as well.
Now, SDiezal, we want to remind people, may appear to be in the lead as far as where he is in this dungeon, but don't forget, he's still missing 1 item that Raikou has, the Ice Rod. And Raikou, and you mentioned this earlier, he loves his Bombo strats, and he's going to be pretty much taking it out on the Penguins. He must be a Blue Jackets fan.
Yeah, a lot of times just using Bombos can be better than dealing with the ice physics in this palace. Especially if you really don't know how to deal with it and manage it with like sword swings and dashes.
Well, if he is a Blackhawks fan, then unfortunately my joke still doesn't work because of what's going on. In all actuality, SDiezal still has not found where the fire rod is. Still looking for it. Obviously, it's not in this dungeon that we have seen so far. Did get himself a good bomb jump, and we're going to see how Raikou is with a bomb jump in just a moment.
He's not going to go for it. He hasn't learned it yet.
And that changing the switch kind of indicates what he's planning on doing here.
Yep. So it's going to take him a little while longer.
And he gets swatted by the fire bar to put himself into the pit. Has to do this all over again.
Yeah, I tried to convince Rai to learn Ice Palace Bomb Jump in his practice run earlier, but he didn't want to learn it right before our race, which I can understand. But it's a handy thing to know.
It definitely would be a useful technique to know, as we see SDiezal making his way through the right-hand side of this dungeon, because both of these guys are still looking for a critical item. Once they found that critical item, then they're in go mode. Or rather, Raikou's in go mode. I can't say that about SDiezal and the Piece of Heart, one of the 3 items that are in the Ice Palace.
And we'll see what else they can find here, if anything. Yeah, Diesel's definitely a bit ahead in this dungeon, but he does have more things to look for.
And Piece of Heart was the second item. Rather, the Red Rupee was a second item that was in here, so there's a third, and it's possible that Cold Stare has that third and final item.
Yeah, it's looking more and more likely. I think between them they've checked every chest, right? I think it's just Cold Stare now.
I'm thinking so too, unless SDiezal missed a chest on his route. And we don't know what's in the pedestal just right at this moment, but we know that the pedestal cannot contain a required item in this seed because the fire rod would be required to be Skull Woods, which is one of the pendant dungeons.
Yep, about the only thing that is quote-unquote required that could be at pedestal would be the silver arrows. They're not strictly required, but I'm not sure how good Diesel is at silverless.
And you gotta love ice physics in this dungeon.
Oh, they're awful.
And a Piece of Heart pickup here for Raikou, and I believe that's the third and final item. Or no, I think we saw that in SDiezal's side, never mind. But Raikou now does know that he's gotta go right straight for the boss. Now, if SDiezal ends up finding the Ice Rod at some point in time soon up in Dark Death Mountain, and is the first to grab the Fire Rod, then we could be talking about him. Then we could be talking about him having the lead here.
Diesel having a very nice cold stare fight.
Oh, that's beautiful. Getting him into the corner.
Plus 10 bomb upgrade is what cold stare holds.
Cold stare doesn't have anything interesting yet. And we have yet to see either of these guys go into a pendant dungeon. Which is interesting at the hour 25 and you're still looking for items.
Yeah, I'm going to assume they're going to be starting to dig things like Thieves Town. I assume especially Thieves Town because it has 4 items.
As SDiezal looking over his options, he is now heading to Death Mountain, which is a very important play for him.
Yes, absolutely it is.
And Raikou now opting to go... Well, Raikou grabbing the bomb increase here off Cold Stare, grabs the crystal. And we've got ourselves a tied race right now. 6 crystals apiece, but the 7th is not winnable just yet.
Yep, and it all hinges on where this fire rod is.
That's correct. Now, SDiezal is heading his way to Dark Death Mountain, and we know that means he's going to be one piece away from go mode once he gets there.
Yeah, looks like Rai's going to opt to check Thieves Town because it has the highest density of items. And hopefully he remembers that he hasn't checked Pegs and Bat. So that'd be 6 items in this area.
And then, of course, the back cave as well, once he gets done with that. So SDiezal now going to be picking up the ice rod in just a moment. There it is. And probably wondering why I didn't get there get there sooner. So both of these guys with the same amount of crystals, 6 to 6. Raikou checking the Peg Cave first. SDiezal checking Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, he definitely wants to check these 2 caves before he goes into a dungeon. That's not strictly required.
Raikou going into the Peg Cave, and he finds 3 bombs. And Raikou opting now to check the Bat Cave. We've seen the Bat Cave have some good items before. This could be another case of it.
I don't think he can get back into his portal. He'll have to go back up to the north of town.
SDiezal using the mirror. I'm hoping he hasn't forgotten that the Cane of Burna hasn't been checked yet, but he's going to mirror Piece of Heart here for raikourider.
Yep, Mad Batter with nothing important today.
And
just
you're right. He can't get back into that portal. Now SDiezal, I think he's going to be checking the pyramid now.
Yeah, looks like it.
And Raikou going to be finding himself a new portal to go into. So the question is where does he go next? Now, no, SDiezal, I think he's going to check Bombos.
Oh yeah, Diesel hasn't. He went right to Gary and turned in the chest. He didn't walk over here and do the stuff on the way.
So as you mentioned before, the higher density of items is Thieves Town. Raikou's going in there.
Yeah, it's a much shorter dungeon, and it has another item.
Ending up just a pixel short of where he needed to go, and...
Oh, that's the worst.
Yep, has to spend all those frames waiting for it to transition back, just because it couldn't let him go left right from the beginning here. Raikou finding a heart container, that is one of the 4 items in Thieves Town. And there's the big key. There's the 2 guaranteed items. Well, that's the guaranteed item you're going to find down here in this first segment of the Thieves Town.
Now let's see what else. What else this dungeon holds for us today. Just a map.
We find a piece of paper. That's not what Raikou wants. He wants a rod. That's a bomb increase. That's 2 of the 4 items. It looks like SDiezal is going to be making the same play that Raikou has made and heading to Thieves Town.
Yeah, it's not a bad... Oh, Diesel hasn't done the digging game by the looks of it.
That's where he's heading to right now, yep. So Raikou now heading through Thieves Town. I'm thinking SDiezal is probably going to be heading there soon after he's done finding the piece of heart, which is the reward for the digging game this time around. Raikou just trying to set himself up for a quick dash across here. And the anti-fairy says, no, I'm still going to steal a heart away from you.
Yeah, it's very difficult to dash through that room in one swoop.
2 items left here in Thieves Town.
Let's see if he'll get them before blind or if he has to go all the way down. Oh,
Piece of heart, that is 3.
So is it going to be in blind cell, blind and self, or in the big chest?
So Raikou now making his way downstairs. And SDiezal going through the Bat Cave to find out, no, that doesn't have what you're looking for. And he's now going to go ahead and do the Bat Cave, which we already know isn't anything of importance either.
Yep, and I would assume Diesel is going to go right into Thieves Town as well. Oh, Rai realizing that the chest by blind has to have a small key here.
That's right, because we haven't seen the small key just yet, so this is guaranteed to be the small key, and therefore the big chest is either going to be the compass or the last item. If Raikou is lucky, it's going to have the last item, and he doesn't have to face off against Blind the Thief. Well, given the way the seed has been so far, it's going to have the compass, like that.
Yep. Blind has the item.
So you gotta kill Blind for the item. And wouldn't this be something if another boss kill in a pendant dungeon yields a required item? SDiezal's gonna check the bumper cave first. He had not done that earlier.
Now, there is still the possibility that Blind doesn't even have the fire rod.
Raikou with the the Blind the Thief with the cheesy joke today.
Blind in his puns. I do love seeing just all the variety of puns Blind has, though.
And so Blind the Thief goes down. And we find the silver arrows! Well, SDiezal's about to go into Thieves Town, but
it's not a bad find, but it's not exactly what they were hoping for.
So the AG found in Thieves Town. Raikou's gonna try to Skull Woods. Possibility that Skull Woods could still have it in one of the 2 items.
Yeah, I think he's doing this because it's shorter and it's close by. Meyer is such a maze for only 2 items.
Yep. It's a routing decision at this point in time. Again, friends, this comes down to who finds the fire rod first. So they can head on over to Turtle Rock.
I still have a bit of hope that it's in Turtle Rock itself.
And that shows a possibility. Now, Raikou going to check this first chest coming up. And it's the key. What's in chest number 2? This one could use... This sometimes has something. It's a map. Well... let's see what's over here in the northeast portion of this first segment. In the room to the right of the big chest.
I have a piece of heart.
Ooh, the piece of heart, which is one of the 2 items. That's a little scary.
Yeah, Fire Rod could be in its vanilla chest. It's always possible.
Well, if Raikou does not get the big key here, there's nothing else he can do here in Skullwoods.
Yep.
By process of elimination, we'll know that it cannot be in Skullwoods. So this is either the second item or the big key, or we're done. It's a small key. He's got nothing else he can do in Skullwoods. It's time to leave. And in Raikou's case, he's now going to go over... He's going to pick up the final key, but we already now know, pretty much, that there's nothing that can be done.
Oh, he's going to check pedestal while he's here.
Oh yeah, he's got the mirror out.
Oh, he's realizing he doesn't have Fire Rod.
Oh yes. Fire Rod is eluding our runners. And that's not where you can warp. Alright, so what do you think is in the pedestal now? It's a couch cache, just move along?
Make things go triple boom.
Yay! 3 bombs! And Raikou's gonna find out that you cannot use the flute in the Master Sword pedestal screen. He's gonna have to wait until he comes back out. There we go.
Yep.
So, Misery Mire next? Oh, he might be checking Canaburna.
Yeah. Has he done Hookshot Cave yet?
He's checking Canaburna.
Yep, he's booking it right up there.
Like I said, the first one of these 2 to find the Fire Rod will make a big difference on who is technically ahead in this race. Because SDiezal's about to find something nice from this boss. It's not what he's looking for at this point, but it's still going to be nice to find the silver, so you don't have to worry about that playing Silverless Ganon.
Yeah, finding silvers is definitely one less worry for them. Alright, what's in this chest? The Fire Rod!
There it is! And now raikourider is on go mode!
He is a go. He just has Turtle Rock and Ganon's Tower. That's a really tricky location for the Fire Rod there.
Could SDiezal be heading to the Canaburna Cave?
Oh, looks like he's opting to go to Mire.
Oh, that's going to be a big move for him. We know it's the wrong move now. But he's running out of bombs.
Checking the stuff by Mire first.
But the longer it takes for SDiezal to get into the Canaburna Cave, the less his chances of winning this race against Raikou.
Yep. Yeah, it's not looking good.
So a big question is going to be, what happens once he checks this spot here to the northeast? Is he going to stay? Is he going to go into Misery Mire? If he goes into Misery Mire, then pretty much game over at this point.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised because he's right in the area and it is 2 items compared to going up to Spike Cave.
So this is going to be the big decision. He pulls out the flute. Could he be heading up to Death Mountain? Does a few sword slashes out of frustration. He is thinking about it. What has he missed? Could it possibly be that he has forgotten about the Canaburna Cave altogether? Pick a number, any number. He does. He's going to Death Mountain.
Yeah, looks like he's gonna be going right there.
So this could make this race a little more interesting. Well, if he can actually get to the Canterbury Cave.
Yeah, it'll come down a lot to execution.
And I love races that come down to that, because then you can really see how good these players' combat is.
Oh, yes.
Raiku's gonna have to be careful, already down to 3 hearts. And SDiezal now, just a trip through the Canterbury away from being in go mode. And he pulls up the block, turns off his Canterbury, finds the fire source.
Oh, right with the quick hook shot to get off the platform.
Pulls up the mirror, finds out that he's not in a dungeon. He can't mirror out of the Canterbury Cave. He's gonna have to do this the not so painful with a quarter magic way.
Yeah, looks like he's gonna go to Light World and go right to Turtle Rock.
Pretty much the idea. He's gonna go via the left side. These guys in their blue mail have got to be careful. These enemies can really pull the punch here, especially these, the chain chomps. They are
a ton of damage.
And Raiku's through unscathed. So Raikou now going through, trying to get himself through. He's got to think that he's behind in this position. I mean, you're an hour 42 in, and you just entered go mode just a few minutes ago. And all because you didn't check a loose bingo square.
Yeah, the really interesting thing will be if he feels he has time to get potions.
Now, did Raikou get the big key?
He did.
Okay, good, because if that's the case, then he's leaving something powerful behind on that island, which in that case, no harm, no foul.
Looks like he is going to go down and check the big chest, though.
Well, you kind of want to with one key in your pocket, because if that's a key and you miss it, you've got a long ways back to backtrack.
Very true.
And right now, how close this race is, that could pretty much be the gap between him and SDiezal. So, failure to do so would have maybe cost him if that chest had a key in it. It had 50 rupees, but you don't want to miss it.
Yeah. Better safe than sorry, for sure. It doesn't take that much time to check it compared to coming back.
Raikou just dashing right straight forward. This room here can be a monster too because of the way it's all set up. You have to take some damage there from the rolling thing of spikes. And
making
now
his way through the platform room.
raikourider getting to the switch here, and the last of the dark rooms we'll see in the game. Getting beat up pretty good by the fire rods here.
Yeah, chose an interesting path there. Ended up getting hit twice for it.
He's gonna have to be very careful coming up here because this next room is very, very dangerous. You got the anti-fairies, which he's going to pop one for a fairy, which is a very good decision. But anything in this room pretty much can kill him in about 3 shots or 4 with a blue mail on. They're that dangerous. And he's going to opt to go with another anti-fairy, and that's a brilliant decision here for Raikou.
Yeah, much better to be safe than sorry, especially when you have a Trinix fight coming up here. He definitely wants to save his potions for Ganon, because he probably feels he's a little behind.
And here he goes against Trinex. Uses the potion, or not the potion, but the green jar to fill himself up to full.
Fire Rod was in Brenna Spike Cave.
And here comes the hits. This will not be a dangerous fight because of how much magic they have with a quarter magic. But wow, there's a quick double head kill there for Raikou. Now it's time for the final head. Full life, this should be no problem. SDiezal is having a little bit of a problem. He has to go through the key door too, which is just going to offset his keys.
Yep. Really quick Trinex fight.
Trinex giving Raikou a little difficulty, bopped him once, but he's down. Raikou picks up for his troubles the compass, and he's going to be heading out to Ganon's Tower first. So there are 22 chests coming up here in Ganon's Tower. 21 chests plus the torch item. Go ahead and put your numbers into the chat. Which ones you think it's going to be? The big key is going to be number 1 through 22. And then I'm going to go ahead and turn over to SDiezal and ask what number you think it's going to be in.
My guess, as always, is number 10. The bottom left chest in the randomizer room.
All right, the bottom left chest in the randomizer room, and for this run, I'm going to pick the Bob chest, 14. Yeah, we're getting a bunch of answers from people. Some of them are realistic, some of them aren't quite as realistic. Like, there are not even 420 chests in the entire game.
Yep.
So here we go, right side. First 2 chests.
Couch cache and a heart container. There's all the health.
Yes, puts him up to 16 hearts. I'm sure he's happy about that.
Yeah, especially just with blue mail.
And we see 3 bombs on the torch, so hello, Bob. We're going to be seeing him tonight.
Yes, we will. Always fun when we get to see Bob.
I'm more willing to agree with the possibility of chest number 419. Small key. And the compass, number 6.
Number 7 is arrow upgrade. And another small key.
A small key in 8. So, remember when SDiezal went through that small key to the island? Well, this is the penalty for doing that. He's got to check these 4 chests. Raikou falling down and has to reset this all over again. And chest number 8 here coming up here for Raikou. 300 rupees. When money is no important thing at this point. SDiezal having a little bit of an issue there with the KS Mario blocks. And Raikou opting to go bomb the crystal switch here to change in and over.
Alright, coming up is number 9.
Just number 9 coming up in here. And there's the big key. So if you guessed chest number 9, you win a piece of our affection here, and thank you very much for playing along with us as raikourider now has the key in hand and is going to be heading up Ganon's Tower, where a bunch of great surprises await. Fun and thrills for everyone. You got mimics, you got Wizrobes, you got anti-fairies.
You've got like bumper jellies. You have even just normal Stealthoses. Got most of everything. So here he will be heading up into the gauntlet. We are going to be seeing, or very soon he'll be going up to the gauntlet.
Yeah, the gauntlet's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we will definitely be seeing some Bombo strats.
Mm-hmm. Definitely love those Bombo strats. And SDiezal finishing up with Turtle Rock is heading on over to Ganon's tower, but right now he is needing a little bit of help from the enemies from Raikou's end if he wants to get a win in this race. And the Bombo strats in room number 1. And torches the enemies, they're down extra crispy.
Charm, I'm pretty sure he skipped the fairy because he has 10 hearts and 2 potions. 2 blue potions.
And Raikou at this point in time, I'm thinking, is also under the idea SDiezal has got to be right on my tail if he isn't in the lead at this point. I cannot yield any more time.
Yep. Yeah, this is the one room Rai chooses not to use Bombos in. He switches to Fire Rod here. Because then he uses it for that Stealthos as well.
And you'll have to grab this fairy off the bunny beam, and now it's time for the refight. And hello, lag.
Yeah, the one bad thing about grabbing that fairy is it makes all the landmos spawn at once.
And Raikou's now heading up to the 5th floor where the Wizrobes await.
I love the Kana Samaria strats for the Wizrobe rooms.
Yep, you can take him down one big hit right there. Now the second room, the Wizrobes show up, you can't do that strat because of how they end up being, and Raikou only gets half of them.
Yeah, it is possible to one-cycle that room, but it is quite difficult.
Yeah, you gotta get 3 of them with the Kana Samaria, and then really make your way over towards the upper right is the one they usually leave behind, and get him before he despawns.
Yeah, don't have too much of a window to do it. And it looks impressive when you get it.
Ooh, SDiezal's got the fire rod right on his butt. Or the fire, whatever that thing is. Grabs the big key and is now heading up Ganon's tower, but probably a couple minutes, or probably more like 3 minutes at this point behind where Raikou is. Oh, nice fairy drop off one of the mini Helisaurs.
Yeah, that was really good luck there. Definitely doesn't have to worry about his health here.
Nice that that's part of the price pack.
Yeah, definitely a lot of times you can just get a really good fairy drop to help.
And Moldurn coming up, and, well, Moldurn gave him a nice little shove, but Raikou gives him 2 slashes, and what do? Yeah, we're going to see the chest pop
Got
up.
to switch to hook shot. There he goes.
Right there, he does check it. It is the Fireball Shield.
Fire shield.
And with that, Raikou heading up to Aga 2, where some RNG is going to be playing a role into this fight. Can Raikou get some good patterns coming up?
That's always the question. Then it's also a question of how does he handle them.
SDiezal falling down, and now he just blazed through this room. But he's going to opt to grab the fairies coming up in this spare room in the 3rd floor.
Yeah, he has a lot less health to work with and potions.
Ooh, nice double right there on Raikou's end. He's got a perfect setup for another double. Oh,
It's
there we
really
go.
good fight.
He could have had the triple, too, if he didn't already have 4 hits on Ganon.
Yep. Yeah, that was a really good setup.
And now it's time to head on over to Ganon.
Alright, now Mirai just needs to not die or fall.
Yep, and Raikou, with a win in this race, would go to 3-1, which guarantees him, at the very least, for a race-off, if not to move on to the bracket stage. So his tournament experience, if he can hold on here, would continue with a win here. Getting bopped around by the bats, but I think he's right at the 6 hits he needs. We'll find out when Ganon teleports, and yes, indeed. We're now at stage 3.
Yep, this one goes pretty easily. Equipping the lamp just to be able to set up for the torch glitch.
Yep, but even though he doesn't really need the torch glitch all that much with the silver arrows in hand, but it's still a nice one to grab. And did you get the arrows and thieves done? Well, you hit him pretty well, but both runners ended up finding him. And getting him over. Is he going to get a double? Nope, that looks like just 1. And that looks like 2, so no doubles here for Raikou so far in the first 2 cycles.
Yeah, let's see if he gets a double. No, he's just going to go for the singles just to make sure.
And there he goes. Ganon is down. And Raikou is going to win this race.
Yes, indeed. And he is guaranteed to at least have another race, if not guaranteed advancement. And he has done.
Yep, he finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 56 minutes, and 17 seconds.
Well done, Durai.
And pretty much it just came down to Raikou by about a couple of minutes found the fire rod faster.
Yep, yeah, he had Ice Rod ahead of time, and then had a couple other locations.
I got away with such a huge mistake.
So we welcome raikourider into the conversation here, and he immediately says he got away with a huge mistake. What huge mistake are you talking about?
Not checking Burn a Spike Cave after completing Hera. I was just kind of excited to get Hera done and go do other things, and I left a portal right outside of Hera to go back in the Dark World to check Burn a Spike Cave, and I went and checked 2 pendant dungeons for the Fire Rod.
Yeah, I did mention that you were probably going to go and check the cave, since you were right there.
That was such a huge mistake, and I have absolutely no idea how I got away with that.
Well, here's pretty much what ended up happening. SDiezal left that Cane of Verna spot alone as well, but also left behind the Dark Death Mountain where the Ice Rod was as well. As he finishes off with Moldurn 2, heads over towards Aga, he does check the chest to find the Fireball Shield as well.
At least I made the race exciting.
Yeah, it was quite close.
But, I tell you what though, once I get into the elimination bracket, mistakes like that aren't going to cut it.
Yep, so it does, for both of these runners, kind of go to the morale of the story to not leave loose squares behind like that, but you didn't find something nice on the path. I'm certain you didn't really want to find it at that point in time. Oh, nice dashing strats here from SDiezal and against Aga 2.
Yeah,
he's mad dashing with the net.
Yep.
I was very happy to find the silver arrows that Blind had them, and I wasn't sure about how confident SDiezal is with Silverless Ganon. So I figured when I found the silvers in Thieves Town, I'm like, maybe I have a chance, because I'm going to pick up probably a minute or 2 in Ganon, but I wasn't sure if it was quite enough, because... Oh, that mistake of not checking Burn a Spike Cave when I had the portal set up right outside Thieves Town. I even said to myself before going in there, I'm going to set up this portal right here and check Burn a Spike Cave after Tower of Hera. And I just didn't go in there for some unknown reason.
And then you whistled away and didn't make it back up there until the decision was, do I go check Misery Mire or do I check this?
obviously you check that before Misery Mire. The way the route works generally for this game, Pendant Misery Mire should be the absolute last place you check for an item.
Yeah, it is an awful maze to go through when you're trying to search for something.
Exactly.
Well, until you found the fire rod up there in the Cane of Burner, we still had a little smidgen of a hope that you were going to need to go to Sarashla to get to the fire rod.
Yeah, that's another thing I was super scared of because I left. Well, I couldn't get in. I couldn't get in there earlier, so I was actually kind of praying that Sahasrahla was at the fire, or the Sahasrahla had the fire rod, or the fire rod was at some other dumb place. Because at that point, when I found the fire rod in the Burna Spike Cave, I thought I had to be like 10 minutes behind. I kind of wish I had my webcam on when that was going on, because the facial expression that I made when I found that fire rod in Burna Spike Cave had to be priceless. Just that look on your face when just stupid.
I can picture it right now.
And
Well, you're in
SDiezal finishing up against Ganon here, and he's going to go ahead and done in just a moment as well.
Yeah, pretty close race here. Just down. Oh, you need shovel dashes into the Triforce room. SDiezal has done with an SRL race time of 2 hours, 1 minute, and 4 seconds.
GG. But really, I should have probably had about 145 on this seed. There was no reason for that tomfoolery with the fire rod. Not to mention, if I found that fire rod, then as soon as I found the red cane, I'd have been in go mode, and I wouldn't have checked as many chests as I did in dungeons either. So who knows what kind of time I should have gotten on this seed.
So, pretty much, you're done with your group stages. You're 3-1.
Not quite. If the bracket falls just so, there could be 2 people at 3-1 playing a playoff for the second playoff spot, but the bracket has to fall just so, and it's probably not going to happen because SDiezal needs to beat Jet for that to happen.
But pretty much, as far as your now current scheduled group matches are concerned, you're done with the perhaps of a race-off still intact. What are your thoughts heading into a possible race-off or heading into the brackets? I know you mentioned earlier that mistakes like what you consider you made today aren't going to cut it. What kind of things do you feel you need to work on as you get towards this race-off, if you need to do that, or the bracket stage if that's next for you?
Ice Palace bomb jump. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I can definitely help you with that.
I was put into a situation where I really couldn't do the bomb jump for anything too profitable because at the time I needed the full clear Ice Palace anyway.
And we also welcome into the commentary with us SDiezal on a good run today.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Good bonk count, 28.
Nice.
Raikou spoiling it for us before we get the guesses into the
I'm
chat.
sorry.
It's all right. So if you want to guess a number between 1 and 100 on the bonk counts, you'll win our love and affection if you get the number correct. So your thoughts on the run here, SDiezal, because both of you ended up running into the same problem. Where is this stinking fire rod?
Yeah, once I figured it got to the end of Ice Palace and I still haven't found it, I was like, all right, well, I need to finish off the overworld items before I head into a pendant dungeon. And as soon as I did that, and I finished, I finished Thieves. As soon as I finished Thieves and I didn't find it, I knew, okay, I need to head into the swamp area because that has chest there. It still wasn't there. So it hit me last to do a Spike Cave before I went on to the next dungeon. If it wasn't in Spike Cave, I would have went on to probably Mire, because that would have opened up Sahasrahla and I would have been able to get an item from him too. So really worst case scenario.
I ran into this. I ran into the same thing when I did not find it in Ice Palace. I was finishing up the overworld, and I'm like, while I'm over here, I think I'm going to check Thieves Town and Skullwoods because they're pretty quick. Plus, that lets me check the pedestal just in case. Because I think it was still possible for it to be the Fire Rod at the time.
It definitely was, yes.
Well, Skullwoods was a pendant, so Fire Rod could not have been at the pedestal.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, true. I didn't even think about that.
Right.
It's just things you don't think about when you're running.
It's
It's so easy for us commentators to say the things that you may or may not need. But when you're sitting there with a controller in your hands, your mind actually turns into different kind of strategies there. So both of you ended up staying out of Misery Mire. Now, Raikou mentioned it earlier. What was your reasons for staying out of Misery Mire there, SDiezal?
I would say mostly because there are a good amount of chests in Misery Mire, but it does take a long time to get all of those chests.
Too long.
Yeah, they're all spread out. They're not really close together, so that's a really long dungeon. And I even though it was a green pendant, I was like, "There's no way Saraswala's got the Fire Rod. If he has the Fire Rod, this would be the worst troll seed ever." So.
I was actually really happy with my routing in general in this seed. I don't think I made too many routing blunders other than burn a Spike Cave. And that was just...
Yeah. I would say the only issue I had was doing Thieves when I didn't need to. Because I probably should have done the swamp area first and then done Thieves, but thankfully I didn't. And there would have been nothing that would have preempted me to say, hey, go to Spike Cave because the Fire Rod is there. Like, there was nothing hinting toward that at all.
So
I routed it. I routed Spike Cave after like Hera and Ether when I was making the second trip up through Death Mountain, because as soon as I found the mitts and the hookshot, I'm like, I am making a beeline for East Death Mountain because there's way too many items over there. And then once I found the pearl and everything I needed to go up to the other side of Death Mountain, I'm like, I'm gonna knock out Hera, I'm gonna check Ether, and I'm gonna check Burn a Spike Cave, and I'm gonna do all of that after. Like, it was just check Ether, do Tower of Hera because it's a crystal dungeon. Then as soon as you're done with Hera, check Burn a Spike Cave, and I flew it away like a moron.
And then you didn't get back up there until after you checked 2 pendant dungeons.
That's probably the most moronic thing I've done in a race in a long time.
So, how happy were you, SDiezal, when you found that Blind the Thief, even though it was a pendant dungeon, dropped the silver arrows?
That was a very good, happy little accident that happened there. Like, it's like, oh, at least I got something out of this dungeon, even though it wasn't anything required, because it did make the Ganon fight a little bit faster. So, had it came down to the wire, that would have made a bigger difference. But now, go ahead.
I was actually breathing a huge sigh of relief when I found the silver arrows for a different reason. Money was super tight in this seed.
Yeah, a little bit in the beginning, and then it kind of opened up for me as I found a lot of good money places.
No, I didn't. I was at the end of the game when I was going into G Tower. I was sitting on maybe 160 rupees. So I'm thinking, and I was thinking because of the whole Fire Rod fiasco, I thought, you know what, it's not worth the time to go to the Witch's Hut to go buy 1 potion.
Right.
And I also, the 2 times I was up by the Death Mountain, the East Dark Death Mountain shop up there, because there's a red potion seller there, I love going to that guy to get safety potions all the time, and I just never had the money.
Now, let me talk about one other thing here, SDiezal. And it was right in the beginning of the game. It didn't yield anything because there's nothing good in those 3 chests, but the last rat you killed for the bomb drop finally, so you can get into there.
It actually prompted me to do that from my last race I did, where we and Jet walked out of Escape with no bombs, which is very rare to happen. And then it looked like it was going to happen again. I'm like, okay, this is the last room before I leave Escape. At least let me kill all the rats here to see if I get a lucky drop. And sure enough, the last rat dropped a 4 bomb drop. And even though it didn't the chest didn't have anything good in them, but that was a very lucky drop there.
So, Raikou, you are guaranteed at least a tie for second place in your group. Now, SDiezal, you still have some races to go. You still got 2 more of your races to go, and your thoughts heading into the final 2?
Just gotta do a few more runs and get some more practice in. But yeah, I'm excited for them. I think the next one's with VTorp, and I haven't looked at the schedule for the other one. But yeah, that one is on Tuesday night, so pretty hyped for that.
All right, anything you want to add, Janice?
Just thank you, racers, for giving us a really good show. Thank you, Tara, for managing the tracker for us today.
All right, give it up for both of these runners. We have raikourider and SDiezal. Thank you guys for joining us here.
Thanks, guys. GG, dude.
You're welcome.
All right, there's another race that is going on right now as we speak over on Speed Gaming 2 that is between Xylo 7 and Zarnax 42, and I'm sure we're going to be heading right over there in just a few minutes. Coming up in just a few minutes over here, I believe we've got Mega Man X2 coming up at 11 o'clock Eastern. More Link to the Past randomizer races will be coming up your way on this channel beginning at 9 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. That is as Putz 12 takes on Cruel. That is going to be once again at 9 o'clock Eastern here in Speed Gaming. Then at 1 o'clock, a game that I know my competitor Wednesday is going to be looking out for, Dark Ori versus Ninjembro. That's at 1 p.m. Eastern. And if Ninjembro wins, that makes it still a possibility for a race-off between 2 or 3 competitors in the Group N. Coming up at 6 o'clock tomorrow, Garbanzo Guy going up against Aaron Dobb. No idea where it's going to be at this moment. And actually, I think that might be at 9 o'clock Eastern, not at 6 o'clock. It's listed as 1800 Pacific Daylight Time. We'll get the verification on that coming up on the schedule in just a few. Jedab versus Cold Lizard at 7 o'clock Eastern. That's over here on Speed Gaming. And also coming up tomorrow night here on Speed Gaming. If you want to do exclamation point schedule, you can get all these things that are coming up. We're going to be having the Zelda 1 randomizer tournament coming up at 10 p.m. Eastern. That's tomorrow night. Once again, all times are Eastern. Also on this channel tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, will be Mega Man 3. So a lot of great races coming up your way here. And as I wanted to say, thanks to Tara for helping us out with the trackers and behind-the-scenes information here. Couldn't do it without you, and it's kind of difficult trying to keep up with what's going on in 2 streams at the same time. So definitely a lot of thanks to Tara helping us both last night as well as tonight. Janice, thank you very much for joining me.
Yeah, no problem. It was a ton of fun being on commentary.
All right, for Feasel and Mythical and the rest of the gang here at Speed Gaming, thank you very much for joining us. I'm Adirondack Rick. Send us out of here, Janice.
And I'm Janice. Thanks again, once again, just to all the organizers, all the runners, putting on great shows. And let's all head over to Speed Gaming 2 and watch some more LTTPR.
Or you can watch both that as well as the Mega Man X2 that's coming up right next on this channel. Have a good night, everyone.